Pocket Physics Theory, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers by Rumi Michael Lee. Introduction. I would like to thank and congratulate you for listening to this book, Pocket Physics Theory, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers. This book will give you a good general knowledge about the essentials of physics theory. General, Part 1. 1. What is micro? Micro is 10 to the power minus 6. 2. What is mega? Mega is 10 to the power 6. 3. What is giga? Giga is 10 to the power 9. 4. What is nano? Nano is 10 to the power minus 9. 5. What is pico? Pico is 10 to the power minus 12. 6. What is a scientific notation? A scientific notation is a way of representing numbers using powers of 10. 7. What is sin? Sin is opposite divided by hypotenuse. 8. What is cos? Cos is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. 9. What is tan? Tan is opposite divided by adjacent. Energy, Part 2. 1. What is calorie? Calorie is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a gram of water by 1 degree. 2. What is work? Work is force applied at a certain distance. 3. What is the unit of work? The unit of work is joules. 4. What is energy? Energy is the ability to do work. 5. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy of movement. 6. What is potential energy? Potential energy is the energy stored that can be transformed to do work. 7. What is power? Power is the work done over a given time. Dynamics, Part 3. 1. What is speed? Speed is the distance traveled over time. 2. What is instantaneous speed? Instantaneous speed is the speed in the moment. 3. What is average velocity? Average velocity is the change in position of an object over a change in time. 4. What is terminal velocity? Terminal velocity is the highest velocity reached by a free-falling object. 5. What is average acceleration? Average acceleration is the change in velocity over a change in time. 6. Can an object in equilibrium be in motion? Yes, but its velocity is constant. 7. What is free fall? Free fall is the absence of friction when an object is falling. 8. What is displacement? Displacement is the difference between the final position of an object and its initial position. Electricity, Part 4. 1. What is a circuit? A circuit is a path where electrons flow. 2. Name 2 types of connections. Series connections and parallel connections. 3. What is a series connection? A series connection is a system of connections in which current flows in one path. 4. What are parallel connections? Parallel connections is a system of connections in which current flows in more than one path. 5. Does the current in a series circuit differ? No, the current in a series circuit does not differ, it is the same everywhere. 6. What is an open circuit? An open circuit is a circuit in which no current can flow. 7. What is a closed circuit? A closed circuit is a circuit in which there is a continuous flow of current. 8. What happens when there are 2 electrical charges of the same sign? They repel each other. 9. What happens when there are two electrical charges of opposite signs? They attract each other. 10. What is an electric current? An electric current is the flow of charge from one point to another. Electricity, Part 5. 1. What is the function of an electroscope? An electroscope is used for the detection of static electricity. 2. What is the function of an electrometer? An electrometer is used to measure electric charges. 3. What is the function of a capacitor? A capacitor is a device that stores potential energy. 4. What is a direct current DC? A direct current is a current that flows in one direction. 5. What is an alternating current? An alternating current is a current that periodically reverses their direction. 6. What is the relationship between the resistance in a circuit and current? A current is high if the resistance is low. 7. What is a photovoltaic cell? A photovoltaic cell transforms light energy to electrical energy. 8. Does a positively charged body have an excess of electrons? No, a positively charged body does not have an excess of electrons. 9. Are all the electrons of a metal free? No. 10. What is used to measure the voltage in a circuit? A voltmeter. Electricity, Part 6. 1. What is static electricity? Static electricity is electricity created by friction. 2. What is a superconductor? A superconductor is a substance that conducts electricity without resistance. 3. What is induction? Induction is the passing of electric or magnetic current between objects without any physical contact between the objects. 4. What is a resistor? A resistor is a device that resists electric current. 5. What is a fuse? A fuse is an electrical device that protects overheating by interrupting the flow of electric current. 6. What is a galvanometer? A galvanometer is an instrument used for measuring small electric current. 7. What is the function of an electric motor? An electric motor converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. 8. Define electrostatics. Electrostatics is the study of static electricity. Electricity is at rest. 9. Give an example of a semiconductor. Silicon. 10. What are transistors? Transistors are semiconductors that regulate current and are used to switch electronic signals. 11. What is a diode? A diode is a two-terminal electronical device that allows the flow of current in one direction. 12. What is an ammeter? An ammeter is an instrument used to measure electric current. Light and Optics, Part 7. 1. What is the law of reflection? The law of reflection states that the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence. 2. What is a ray? A ray is a thin beam of light. 3. What is umbra? Umbra means complete shadow. The light is completely blocked by the object. 4. What is penumbra? Penumbra means part light, part shadow. 5. What is the critical angle? Critical angle is the minimum possible angle of incidence in which a total reflection occurs when light travels from a medium of higher refraction to a medium of lower refraction. 6. What are mirages? Mirages are optical illusions or effects caused by weather or atmospheric conditions. 7. How are rainbows formed? Rainbows are formed by the reflection and dispersion of sunlight in water droplets. 8. What colors form yellow? Green and red combined. 9. What colors form cyan? Blue and green combined. 10. What colors form magenta? Red and blue combined. Light and Optics, Part 8. 1. What is phosphorescence? Phosphorescence is a body that emits light a little longer after being irradiated by a light source. 2. What is fluorescence? Fluorescence is a body that emits light after being irradiated by a light source, but does not emit any more light when the source of light is no more. 3. What is a light year? A light year is the distance traveled by light through a vacuum in a year. 4. Name the 3 primary colors. Red, green, and blue. 5. What is dispersion? Dispersion is the separation of light by frequency into colors. 6. What kind of image is formed by a diverging lens? A virtual image. 7. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of vibrations per second. 8. What is focal length? Focal length is the distance between the focal point and the lens. 9. What does the speed of light depend on? The speed of light depends on the surface it travels through. 10. What is the speed of light in a vacuum? The speed of light in a vacuum is 300,000 kilometers per second. Light and Optics, Part 9. 1. What is an opaque object? An opaque object is an object that does not allow light to pass through. 2. Give an example of an opaque object. An example of an opaque object is concrete. 3. What is a translucent object? A translucent object is an object that does not allow light to pass through in a straight line. 4. Give an example of a translucent object. An example of a translucent object is ground glass. 5. What is a transparent object? A transparent object is an object that allows light to pass through in a straight line. 6. Give an example of a transparent object. An example of a transparent object is glass. 7. What is the shadow zone? The shadow zone is the part of an object that does not receive light. 8. How does light travel in a homogeneous and transparent environment? Light travels in a straight line. 9. Name a natural ultraviolet wave source. The sun. 10. What protects us from the UV of the sun? The ozone. Light and Optics, Part 10. 1. What is a light source? A light source is a body that emits light. 2. Name the 2 types of light sources. A primary source and a secondary source. 3. Give examples of a primary light source. The sun, the stars, a bulb, etc. 4. What is incandescence? Incandescence is when a body emits light when it is heated to a certain high temperature. 5. Give an example of incandescence. Lightning. 6. What is luminescence? Luminescence is when a body emits light at an ambient temperature. 7. Give an example of luminescence. A fluorescent tube. 8. What is a primary light source? A primary light source is a source of light that creates and emits light. 9. What is a secondary light source? A secondary light source is a source of light that reflects light created by a primary source. 10. Give an example of a secondary light source. The moon. Light and Optics, Part 11. 1. What is the point of incidence? The point of incidence is the point struck by the light beam. 2. What is the incident ray? The incident ray is the light ray that strikes on the object. 3. What is the angle of incident? The angle of incident is the angle formed by the incident ray. 4. What is the angle of reflection? The angle of reflection is the angle formed by the reflected ray. 5. What is the reflected ray? The reflected ray is the light ray that is reflected from the object. 6. What is the normal of the object? The normal of the object is the perpendicular to the plane of the object. 7. What is the plane of incident? The plane of incident consists of the incident ray, the normal ray, and the reflected ray. 8. What is the refractive index? The refractive index is the speed of light in a vacuum, medium 1, on the speed of light in the second surface, medium 2. 9. What is the relation between the refractive index and the speed of light? The speed of light is low when the refractive index of a medium is large. 10. What is total reflection? Total reflection is when all the light is reflected, so there is no refraction. Light and Optics, Part 12. 1. What is the link between the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection? The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. 2. What is a real image? A real image is an image where light rays converge. 3. What is a virtual image? A virtual image is an image where light rays do not converge. 4. Give an example of a virtual image. A mirror image. 5. Give an example of a real image. A camera image. 6. What are the characteristics of a converging lens? A converging lens has a real image, and its image can be received on a screen. 7. What are the characteristics of a diverging lens? A diverging lens has a virtual image, and its image cannot be received on a screen. 8. Is the image in a convex mirror upright? No. 9. Give another name for a convex lens. A converging lens. 10. Give another name for a concave lens. A diverging lens. Light and Optics, Part 13. 1. What is presbyopia? Presbyopia is when the crystalline lenses become rigid. 2. What is the cause of presbyopia? Presbyopia is due to aging. 3. What kind of lenses are used to correct presbyopia? Convex lenses. 4. What is astigmatism? Astigmatism is a blurred or distorted vision. 5. What is myopia? Myopia is when someone sees near objects clearly, but not objects that are far. 6. What kind of correction lenses are used for myopia? Concave lenses. 7. What is hyperopia? Hyperopia is when someone has difficulty seeing near objects. 8. What kind of correction lenses are used for hyperopia? Convex lenses. Pressure, Temperature, Heat, Part 14. 1. What is temperature? Temperature is what indicates the hotness or coldness of an object. 2. What is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is the pressure of the air that surrounds us. 3. What instrument is used to measure the atmospheric pressure? A barometer. 4. What can influence pressure? The surface of contact. The larger the surface, the lesser the pressure. 5. What is the formula of pressure? The formula of pressure is force applied over the surface. 6. What is Archimedes' force? Archimedes' force is the force that opposes the force of gravity in a liquid. 7. What influences Archimedes' force? The volume of an object and the density of the liquid. 8. What is the relationship between the density of a liquid and Archimedes' force? As density decreases, the force of Archimedes decreases. 9. What is the relationship between the volume of a submerged liquid and Archimedes' force? As the volume of the immersed liquid increases, the force of Archimedes increases. 10. The pressure of a liquid depends mainly on the height of the liquid. 11. Is there Archimedes' force in gases? Yes, there is Archimedes' force in gases. Pressure, temperature, heat, Part 15. 1. What is specific heat? Specific heat is the characteristic of a body to store heat. 2. What is thermal expansion? Thermal expansion is the increase of the dimensions of a body following an increase of its temperature. 3. What is linear expansion? Linear expansion is the increase of the length of a body following an increase of its temperature. 4. What is thermal contraction? Thermal contraction is the decrease of the dimensions of a body following a decrease of its temperature. 5. What is latent heat? Latent heat is the heat required to change the phase of a substance. 6. How is heat transferred? Heat is transferred by conduction, convection, and radiation. 7. What is conduction? Conduction is the transfer of heat by contact. 8. What is convection? Convection is the transfer of heat when it moves away from its source of heat. 9. What is radiation? Radiation is the transfer of heat by electromagnetic waves. Mechanics, Part 16. 1. What is mass? Mass is the quantity of matter. The mass of an object is always constant. 2. A ton equals how many kilograms? 1,000 kilogram. 3. What is density? Density is the mass of a body over its volume. 4. What is force? Force is anything that can modify the state of a body, either its form or its movement. 5. How is force represented? Force is represented by a vector. 6. How is the force of gravity measured? The force of gravity is measured with a dynamometer. 7. The force of gravity is expressed in which unit? In newtons. 8. What are the characteristics of weight? The characteristics of weight are its direction, its intensity, and its center of gravity. 9. How is mass measured? Mass is measured with a scale. 10. Is friction a force? Yes, friction is a force. Mechanics, Part 17. 1. What is net force? Net force is the sum of all the forces acting on an object. 2. What is centripetal force? Centripetal force is the force that keeps an object in a circular motion. 3. What is centrifugal force? Centrifugal force is the force moving outward from the center. 4. What is resistance force? Resistance force is the force opposite to the movement of an object. 5. What is momentum? Momentum is an object in motion. 6. What is inertia? Inertia is when an object resists changes in motion. 7. What is an elastic collision? An elastic collision is a collision in which kinetic energy remains constant. 8. What is an inelastic collision? An inelastic collision is a collision in which there is loss of kinetic energy. 9. Name two types of friction. Kinetic friction and static friction. 10. What is kinetic friction? Kinetic friction is the force that slows down the movement of an object. 11. What is static friction? Static friction is the force that permits movement of an object. 12. What is an interaction pair? An interaction pair is a pair of forces equal in strength, but in opposite direction. 13. What is an impulse? An impulse is the force multiplied by the change in time. Wave, Part 18. 1. What is a wave? A wave is a disturbance that transfers energy. 2. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of cycles in 1 second. 3. What is the unit of frequency? The unit of frequency is hertz. 4. What is a mechanical wave? A mechanical wave is a wave that requires a medium for its transmission. 5. What is a transverse wave? A transverse wave is a wave in which its direction of displacement is perpendicular to its direction of propagation. 6. What is a wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between 2 points in a wave. 7. What is a period? A period is the time of a complete cycle. 8. What is a node? A node is a point in a standing wave where there is no displacement at each cycle. 9. What is an antinode? An antinode is a point in a standing wave where there is maximum displacement at each cycle. 10. What is a longitudinal wave? A longitudinal wave is a wave in which its direction of displacement is parallel to its direction of propagation. Wave, Part 19. 1. What is a constructive interference? A constructive interference is when waves of equal frequency and phase meet and add up to a larger amplitude. 2. What is a destructive interference? A destructive interference is when waves of equal frequency and opposite phase meet and cancel one another. 3. What is a crest? A crest is the point on a wave with the maximum value of upward displacement in a cycle. 4. What is a trough? A trough is the point on a wave with the minimum value of downward displacement in a cycle. 5. What is compression? Compression is the region of a wave in which the pressure and density are higher. 6. What is rarefaction? Rarefaction is a region in a longitudinal wave where the waves are spread out. 7. What is diffraction? Diffraction is the change in the direction of a wave. 8. What can cause diffraction? An obstacle or an opening, etc. 9. Define subsonic. Subsonic is the speed below that of sound. 10. Define supersonic. Supersonic is the speed above that of sound. Wave, Part 20. 1. What is periodic motion? Periodic motion is a motion that repeats. 2. What is superposition? Superposition is when waves pass through each other. 3. What is a wavefront? A wavefront is a surface with a propagating wave that passes through all the points in the wave that have the same phase. 4. What is amplitude? Amplitude is the measure of the size of a wave. 5. What is a shock wave? A shock wave is when a wave moves faster than the speed of sound. 6. What is the speed of sound? The speed of sound is 340 meters per second. 7. Can sound travel in a vacuum? No, sound cannot travel in a vacuum. 8. What is the sound frequency for infrasonic? Sound frequencies below 20 Hz. 9. What is the sound frequency for ultrasonic? Sound frequencies above 20,000 Hz. 10. What is the function of an oscilloscope? An oscilloscope measures sound intensity. Wave, Part 21. 1. Name the two main types of waves. The two main types of waves are transverse and longitudinal waves. 2. Give examples of transverse waves. Light waves, radio waves, string instrument. Example, the guitar. 3. Give examples of longitudinal waves. Sound waves and pressure waves. 4. What is Doppler effect? Doppler effect is the change in wavelength and frequency between the source and an observer in motion. 5. What is fundamental frequency? Fundamental frequency means the lowest frequency. 6. What is intensity? Intensity is the power per unit area of a wave. 7. What is a pitch? A pitch is a wave that seems motionless. 8. What is a standing wave? A standing wave is a wave that seems motionless. 9. Name different types of electromagnetic waves. X-ray, gamma radiation, radio waves, microwaves, radar waves, infrared, ultraviolet, and visible light. 10. Where is X-ray used? X-ray is used in the field of medical radiography. Wave, Part 22. 1. Where is gamma radiation used? In the field of radiotherapy. 2. Where are infrared waves used? In heaters. 3. Where are ultraviolet waves used? In sunbathing salons, the lamps that tan the skin. 4. What are infrasonic sounds? Infrasonic sounds are sounds that are too low to hear. 5. What are ultrasonic sounds? Ultrasonic sounds are sounds that are too high to hear. 6. What is light intensity? Light intensity is the brightness of light. Radiation protection, Part 23. 1. Name some substances that emit radiation. Uranium, radium, etc. 2. What is a nuclide? A nuclide is an atomic nucleus in an individual entity. 3. What does a nuclide consist of? A nuclide consists of neutron and proton. 4. What is a radionuclide? A radionuclide is an unstable nuclide. 5. What is the condition for a spontaneous transformation to take place for a radionuclide? The final energy must be lower than the initial energy. 6. Give another name for a radionuclide. A radioactive nuclide. 7. What are isotones? Isotones are nuclides that have the same number of neutrons but different number of protons. 8. What are isobars? Isobars are nuclides with the same mass number. 9. Is the nucleus a solid object with a bounded surface? No. 10. What can be used to measure atomic mass? Mass spectrometers can be used to measure atomic mass. Radiation protection, Part 24. 1. What is the unit of atomic mass? UMA. 2. What is the opposite reaction of nuclear fission? Nuclear fusion. 3. What is the force that regulates the movements of atomic electrons? Electromagnetic force. 4. The radioactive decay of radionuclide is what kind of process? The radioactive decay of radionuclide is a random process. 5. What is radioactive half-life? Radioactive half-life is the time it takes to reduce a radioactive activity by a factor of 2. 6. What is the activity of a radioactive source? The activity of a radioactive source is the number of disintegration per unit of time. 7. What are the three categories of the disintegration modalities? When a nuclide is transformed to another nuclide, when a nuclide is transformed into several other nuclides, and when the same nuclide is transformed into another energy state. 8. How are artificial radionuclides produced? Artificial radionuclides are produced by activation, filiation, and fission. 9. Where are unsealed radioactive sources often used? In nuclear medicine. 10. Where are sealed radioactive sources often used? Irradiation in a general sense. Radiation protection, Part 25. 1. What are the two main radionuclides created in the atmosphere? Tritium and carbon-14. 2. Which is more numerous in the atmosphere, C14 or C12? C12. 3. What is the utility of C12 in the atmosphere? The dating of plants. 4. What is ionization radiation? Ionization radiation is a radiation capable of removing an electron from an atom. 5. Why are charged particles said to be directly ionizing? Charged particles are said to be directly ionizing because they interact continuously with the matter. 6. Name some charged particles. Protons, electrons, and alpha particles. 7. Name some uncharged particles. X-rays, gamma rays, and neutrons. Conclusion. Thank you once again for listening to this book. I hope it has been of service to you.